Hiya! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Good morning! Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show. We're brought to you by Rite Aid, your neighborhood pharmacy. Visit your local Rite Aid today. Stock up on allergy relief. Catch up on immunizations for RSV, shingles, and more. Walk in, schedule a vaccine appointment at riteaid.com. Well, a good morning, a good Wednesday to us all. And it was. It was a great Tuesday night. Fightings, beating up on the Rays. And lo and behold, we wake up on this Wednesday morning after the madness of the debate and the candidates leave Philadelphia. We wake up with the Phillies having the best record in the National League. In case you missed it last night, Dodgers lose to the Cubs. The Phillies now have the best record in the NL, 87-58. It matches a season high. All the angst, all the worry that we had. I distinctly remember saying, listen, we're going to wake up in the middle of September and we're going to forget all about those struggles. They will have righted themselves. And here they are as we approach week 2 in the NFL. And they're back. Bryce last night, 4 hits. Should have had the home run, if not for the fan, right? Not for the kid. So Bryce looks good. Schwarber sets the mark for leadoff home runs, 14 of them. He's got 35 bombs on the year. So all's right with the Phillies. The only thing that the concern, as we look at them now, would be Ranger and Ranger's velo. So that's the one thing as we're looking at going into the playoffs. It would be great to have home field throughout. That's the goal. And it looks like they're going to avoid Milwaukee. It looks like they're going to beat Milwaukee and avoid that 3rd spot. So that's a big deal that they're not going to have to worry about a first weekend, that they'll get the bye in the first round. So all's well with the Fightins. They wrap up the series tonight with Wheels up, going for the Cy Young. Wheels against Tampa tonight in the series finale. So we'll talk about Phillies at 9:30 with Jim Salisbury coming up in about 20 minutes. We'll talk to Jimmy and kind of dive into a little Fightins. We said kickoff, right? And we wanted to worry would not happen until kickoff. Well, kickoff has ensued, and we're now looking ahead to a week 2 matchup. So I heard a lot of griping over the last couple of days about Jalen Hurts and a lot of angst and worry about Jalen Hurts. Now, look, I didn't think he played particularly great. I thought, obviously, we all saw the decision-making. We all saw the mistakes, putting the ball in peril. And, I think it's an obvious statement to say that that's the stop. He was better against pressure, right? Like, the good thing that heartened you was that first reads, he was on the money, threw the ball accurately, right? Against pressure. He had very strong numbers, 7 for 8 against the blitz. So Kellen Moore gave him answers, and he complied. The only thing that you can look at is second, third progressions. I went and looked at the tape, and he's got to clean up some stuff, right? Like the second and third progressions, and not having the dramatic movement within the pocket. Little short, purposeful strides within the pocket, eyes upfield. He locked in on some receivers, all that stuff. Now, again, I attribute a lot of it to a week 1 with no preseason. So I think there's some decent alibis. But any kind of fret over Hurts does not have to be Mahomes in this offense. Like, Hurts doesn't have to be a top 10 quarterback for them to win the Super Bowl. He has to be a top 15 quarterback, but he doesn't have to be some elite thrower. Oh, my God. Because, listen, you know that he's going to do enough, right? His floor is, with this offense, can win a Super Bowl, right? Assuming that he doesn't make awful mistakes or turn into a pumpkin, they should win. You have a very good offensive line. You have elite weapons, and that include a bell cow back. So with all that said, I'm not worried about Hurts. I mean, I can say the same thing. Okay, well, he didn't look extremely explosive. Now, let me see. Was that the turf or was that him? Is he not as explosive? I mean, honestly, I'm not worried about it. I look at, if I'm their offense, I don't need to be cute. I don't need Hurts in the run game, an abundance of Hurts in the run game. Some of it works because, you're just going to keep the defense off, on edge. But I got a real running back. It's the same thing with the tush push. Like, I get how, effective it can be. I think I'm just as effective with Saquon Barkley and that O-line. With Saquon Barkley running the football, I don't need to be cute. I got a real running back, and the beauty is you can't stack the box against me. Because if you stack the box against me, I got two elite receivers that are going to burn you, and a tight end, and a third receiver if I need to make my progressions. So I think this Eagle offense is just built to score 30 a game. I don't worry about it. And the quarterback, it's not like he's along for the ride, but they don't need, this isn't Mahomes Chiefs with no weapons, right? Like, we saw Mahomes have to win it without any weapons and relying on his defense. This is not that today. This is one of the greatest offense that ever come through Philadelphia. I mean, you want to talk about, greatest show in green. This is the greatest show in green. So I don't think you need Hurts to be Superman. I think you just need Hurts to play to, at worst, his floor, and you win. Or at least you put up points. We'll get into all of it coming up straight ahead. Let me talk to my people. Here he is, JP, John Zapata.
Buenos dias.
That's a good hat, dude.
Appreciate it.
That PHLY hat? That's a beautiful hat.
PHLY love. Make sure you guys find it at the PHLY locker room.
You know why I love that? The hat's a good hat.
It is. We got some good hats over here at PHLY.
Yeah, well, the VG's got a great, I love that Eagle hat.
Yeah.
That's a childhood hat.
Football.
That's one of our childhood hats.
Yeah.
Beautiful hat.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is all the Rays now. The fabric across, like the NFL, all the sideline coaches had it this year.
Yeah, I like the fabric across. I like
cool.
it.
Like
I think
it breaks
it
up
adds
the color.
something.
Breaks up the color a bit.
It adds something to it.
Yeah.
If you're going to go same color hat, like you got the natural with the green brim, right? Kelly green brim, so it works.
Mm-hmm.
But without if you just went silver hat, you would need
it'd be a little
the
dull,
green,
a little flat. Yeah,
but that's why you need the green
Make it
fabric
pop a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hey, can you hold up what's on your lap? Because people are like, great baseball game, and Cuz is all footballed up. I was like, let me see what's on his lap.
Football. Let's go.
I mean,
Come on, guys. You know the cuz.
I
You're doing the show to football.
it's my security ball.
Yeah, it's like your teddy bear.
I know. I don't know.
Sleep with the football as a kid. It's having a nightmare. Give him the football. Cuddles up to it. Oh, everything's better.
I do love, like, if there's a ball in the house,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
it's just something about it.
Give me a puck. I don't
It
even
makes
care.
me feel better.
It makes me feel
I'm a loser, but it does. It makes me feel better. I like to just have.
He's a ballsman.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is
There's a ball in the house. He's playing with it.
Yeah.
Loves to play with the ball.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cuz walk around the office.
Not
do pump
fondle the
fakes.
ball. Play with the ball.
Yeah.
That's good. Cuz you get any traffic this morning?
Yes, the traffic was a nightmare this
Oh,
morning.
man,
It
me
was
too.
terrible. All right, but let's start off with, we said, and I had to bring it up because I distinctly remember saying, we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be middle of September and we're going to have forgotten all about the Phillies angst. Do you remember me saying those words?
Did we forget?
I don't remember any angst at all, bro. You've been nothing but bliss.
This guy.
Bookends of happiness. Yeah, you're slating them. Not only the best record in the National League, the best record in baseball because they're 4 up on the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yankees have come back to earth a little bit.
Hey, I don't want to see. I heard this too. I was like, well, look who they're playing. I don't want to hear that. Not when you have the best record in baseball. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. They're 87-58. 87-58. Come on, man. Like they're a good club. What more do we want?
I don't know. We got 3. Is Ranger danger time? I mean, he doesn't look good. He hasn't really looked good since June.
No, and you heard me say it. That's my only fear is Ranger Velo.
But we have Sanchez I think he's a competent 3. You want to doubt it because he's got no pedigree. He came out of nowhere. But
it's not. You know what it is? It's not that I'm doubting him. I look at the rotation, and you want a lefty in the rotation.
True.
Right? Like in a playoff series, you want to throw a different. You want the other side of the bat. You want to change hitters. The reason why Ranger's so effective is that you got Wheeler, who's power.
Right.
Yep.
Right. You got Nola, who just hits spots.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you got Ranger coming from the left side, who also can dazzle, go up, down, change your eye angle. He can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then what we saw in the beginning of the year, that's what got us glossed over in the playoffs with this rotation. So I think I hear what you're saying, but I want Ranger because I know what he's capable of, and I want him to be that third starter.
He just doesn't have any velocity right now.
It's concerning right now.
No,
he's like
Jamie Moyer.
3 to 4 out. 3 to 4 miles, off.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean,
because even for him, who can change speeds, he's very good at and he's great. He's got great command, so his location's really good. But you got to be able to, change speeds dramatically. He's these little zip. He's got no zip.
Yeah. I saw someone on the MLB channel, a hitter, say 88 to 92, anyone can hit. Once you get to 93 and above, it's problematic. And Rangers,
really, it's 95.
Well, Rangers are not getting anywhere close to that right now.
No. And it's really 95. Like, this day and age, like you could sit with Rangers stuff, you could bring it down to 93 because he's so dramatically different on how he throws. But you need him. I just think you need him. And especially at the matchups that you're going to face. Like, it's going to come down to the Dodgers, right? Like, Phillies and the Dodgers are on a collision course.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that. I mean, the Dodgers, they're shaking the playoffs.
I know. I hear you.
No.
I don't see it this time. I don't feel it.
Do you sense the Diamondbacks this year happening?
I'm a Padres guy right now. I think the Padres are hot. They're top of the wild card right now. They're like 4.5 out behind the Dodgers.
They got a good bullpen.
Tatis is back. He hit a bomb.
3-run homer
Machado's
last night.
hitting home runs. Bullpen's good.
It does feel like
I do not want to see
I like
the
their
Padres.
lineup, too. Like, they got that Jackson Merrill.
Yep.
They got Cronenworth. Like, they're 2 lefty. Like, even Profar, who's had a terrific year.
Senior.
He's a switch hitter. Like, they go at you, pretty good. They have good balance, lefty, righty in the lineup. I mean, I don't discount, but the Dodgers are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Yamamoto came back last night.
Yeah.
And
He
pitched
looked okay.
very well.
Might have a nug at him if we got time later on.
Yeah, like he pitched well.
Yeah, he did.
But listen, like again, it's going to. I think it comes down to series play. You can't predict it. It's going to be. They're good enough to win it.
I think it's going to come down to bats and bullpen.
Yeah.
I mean, if they score some runs and the bullpen's good, and Alvarado's looking good now.
Yeah.
Bullpen's
looking
well,
good in
the
general.
beauty is that all the pressure and the workload is off him.
Yeah.
So all that workload off him, I think, has done him wonders.
Yeah. He looks a little fresh.
So let me ask you a question. Schwarber hits the bomb last night, 14 leadoff home runs, the record, right?
Yeah. I'm not
Was
surprised Freddie Henderson never did that.
I know.
21 years out of records.
35 bombs for the year.
Yep.
And I know, let's once and for all look at this thing. Does he belong in leadoff?
Yeah. I mean, I love him at leadoff.
How can you take him out?
No. You're not going to take him.
Right.
So let's preface the conversation by saying you're not going to take him out of leadoff. But do you like him at leadoff? Like, honestly, I still don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. I would never say take him out of leadoff because it's too entrenched. Everybody's happy about it, so of course you're going to stay the course. Mm-hmm. But those 35 bombs, I'd rather have them down in the order.
I hear you, man. And obviously, like, listen, you typically put your power lower down in that lineup, but it's working, and that's like what I'm like stood on is like this has been working, and it's not even this year. For 2 years, this has been working. So like, how can we take him out? And
but again, how do we know? We don't know the other side of it. The other side of it could be those 14 home runs. There's guys on base.
I see what you're saying.
So you don't know that it's working. You know that he hits home runs, but you don't know what the flip side is.
That's a good point.
Like, is he not going to? So he's not going to hit home runs in the 4-hole?
But there are some.
I like that early. I like the early runs.
I get it, but again, you could also be up 2-0 instead of 1-0.
It's a good debate.
I mean, you could. I mean, who you gonna? But they don't really have anyone else to lead off. You're gonna go righty, lefty, lefty. That early Topper's not gonna do that.
Turner, and then I put Bohm third. And I need a right hand. I need a right hand.
Schwarber fourth,
and I put Harper second.
Because once RBIs, man.
4?
Yeah,
Schwarber 4.
Or you go Schwarber 2. He's not. The problem is he's a cleanup hitter. Is what he is.
He looks like a darn good leadoff hitter to me.
Yeah,
but no, OBP at 372. He's running the bases fast this year.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about it. And again, I'm not. Don't misconstrue.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah.
We're
not benching.
Projecting. I'm not saying they need to switch it. I just want to have a conversation about it, about the merits of it, only because he set the record.
Yeah. No.
So it's an interesting conversation. But I want to make sure it doesn't get construed on social media.
Absolutely.
Chat's a little, why is this a conversation?
It's a conversation.
It's a good convo.
It's a conversation because he sets the record.
Right.
And it's interesting to just talk about, wow, like how would he be down in the order with all those 14 home runs if there were guys on base? That's why it's a conversation.
That's a legitimate argument. I just like he sets the tone with those home runs. I think that's extremely valuable because I think that energy when he hits those home runs, it just radiates throughout the whole entire lineup. And typically,
but my argument is that can happen anytime. Like it still happens in the first inning. Guy gets on base and Schwarber hits a home run. Whether he's in the 2-hole or the 4-hole or whatever it is, he could still. But a guy could be on base.
I think Trey Turner feels after Schwarber hits that home run. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna give him a little hit there. And
again, I hear you. Like it's an argument that really there's no right answer because you don't know the flip side.
It's true.
And the debate is moot because you would never I wouldn't advocate as much as I'm arguing this side. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't advocate to switch the lineup. I wouldn't say to switch the lineup.
I think one of the things is that he adds up there is not just that he's the power hitter. It's his on. So even when he's in a drought, he's still getting on base as a leadoff. He's 11th or 10th in on base percentage in baseball.
I mean, but the old adage. I mean, not the old adage, but again, he's a clogger.
Not this year. No, he's fast.
He's not
on
going
that
first
base.
and third.
He's not going
I've
first. I've seen him do it.
Come on. I mean, as much as he's not a pylon like he was last year, but let's not get it twisted. He's not.
He looks pretty quick to me.
No,
he used to look like Babe Ruth. Now he looks
whatever.
Speedy.
He's not first, third. What do you think about my other opening, which is Hurts? Like that hurt. Like we shouldn't be overly concerned with Hurts because Hurts' floor with this offense is good enough to get them to a Super Bowl.
Yes. But I do think that, again, I don't want to bring this up again, but I think a lot of people still keeping in mind that collapse last year, and Jalen did not play well in that collapse. Week 1, you see 2 interceptions in that game, not a clean game, but like you mentioned, they still got the win. And, it's funny because Alex Anzalone, the linebacker for the Lions, mentioned this in their little social media clip. I take the season, and you have to take it 4 games at a time. And so, like, I think everyone, I know it's hard for a lot of Eagles fans to sit back and just watch the game, but you have to watch more games than just one to give the full analysis on Jalen Hurts this season. Like, we still have a full season.
But my point to you is
has to put a system
the collapse is irrelevant because Saquon Barkley was not on that team.
I agree with you, but I do think that fans are still keeping that in their minds when they're analyzing.
But again, the whole point of the opening is,
I mean, that collapse was deeper than Jalen. It was the defense was terrible. There was so much going on with that collapse.
The coordinators were a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, you got 2 professional coordinators. And again, I'm talking about the Barkley effect.
I think we saw
the Barkley effect. I think should take the pressure off Hurts trying to do too much to make. I don't think he needs to be a top 5 quarterback for them to win a Super Bowl.
You're right.
No, I mean, I thought we saw that's going to be the worst Hurts plays all year. I think this game we just saw.
Yeah,
and they won
in a bad field.
And Barkley dominated. So
not only did they win, they scored 34 points.
Right.
So, like, to me, if that's his worst,
yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know if it's going to be, but if it is, then that's a gift.
Because the issue, I mean, we were all complaining about is the blitz. Looked like they fixed it. It's only 1 week, but Kellen Moore and him seemed to adjust to it.
Yeah, numbers were good on the blitz.
You know? So, I mean, you take that out of it, and you got the threat of Barkley. The only thing that's going to derail the Birds is the defense coming up short of injuries right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean,
think the same
are
thing.
they in the class of the Niners right now? I don't know.
Well,
the Niners look
again,
good.
we also need to figure out, like, again, you're right. The Niners, the D-line can disrupt things. The Packers' defensive line is decent, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So, that's all to be determined. My only point is that Barkley's dynamic. Barkley adds a dynamic that was not there, that makes this offense special. Barkley adds a dynamic that makes them so different.
Yeah.
And it goes down to as simple as you can't stack the box.
Right.
You can't stack it because if you stack it, I will kill you with my elite receivers.
Right. And they have the best. I mean,
football comes down to that.
Is he the best running back
Comes down
in
to
football
space.
right now? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's top 5, he's the best Eagles running back that they've had.
I don't know who's better than him. I mean, they're going to give you McCaffrey, but
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. At this point,
I'd rather have Saquon.
yeah. Listen, I love, but it's almost irrelevant in that he's their best. We haven't had a running back like him since McCoy, and probably before that since not Westbrook because they didn't use him that way, but since Ricky Waters.
Mm-hmm. I think we got Jimmy Stakes on the line.
Oh, shit, we got him
He's over there doing a dance, showing me jazz hands.
I love it. Oh, great.
Just trying to get your attention.
Well, we're going to go back and we're going to talk to Stakes. We'll talk to Jim Stakes coming up in just a moment. But tell us about some True Mark, my man.
I got you. Because, listen, it's going to be home opener, right, Monday. I know everyone's super excited. And listen, there's a lot going on right now, right? Fall is a hectic time. You got kids going back into school, so you got to make sure they got school supplies. You got to make sure they have the freshest gear to go to school as well. And also, too, I know Monday, we're all trying to go to those tailgates, and tailgates are not cheap whatsoever. But with our friends over at TrueMark right now, they have a credit card promo that I want you guys to take a look into, all right? Back to school madness is here, and there's so much to buy. TrueMark Financial's Reward Visa credit card makes it more rewarding. Not only can you earn 1 point for every dollar you spend, if you open your Rewards Visa credit card by today, you will get a $50 gift card. Guys, a $50 gift card. Yep, you can apply online at truemark.com/PHLY rewards. Terms and conditions do apply. Visit truemark.com/PHLY rewards for more details. Federally insured by the NCUA, equal opportunity lender. You guys can, like we talked about, visit truemark.com/PHLY rewards. But like we talked about before with TrueMark, they have 24 branches in the area. You can walk on in and they'd be more than happy to answer those questions. So thank you so much for our friends over at TrueMark. And while we're at it, while we're talking about fall and we're talking about tailgating and grilling and all the stuff that I love, you want to make sure you're heading over to our friends over at Ace Hardware, because we all know for whatever you need inside and outside the house, Ace Hardware has you covered. But did you guys know they have a great grilling section as well? They have that new green egg that I've been eyeing right now, because you guys know me. I'm big on grilling my steaks, my chicken thighs, my wings, all that good stuff. So I'm heading over to Ace Hardware. And listen, Monday there's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of so-called grill masters. So you want to make sure you're showing up as the grill master in your lot with the best grill that they have as well. So visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com, and you can check out everything that they have. But like we talked about, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. So if you need anything inside or outside the house, Ace Hardware can help you get started with their next project. If you need some help as well, they have trained professionals. So make sure you guys are checking out our friends over at Ace Hardware, cuz.
All right, my man. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. And yes, after last night's fightings, now the best record in baseball. Wow. Let's welcome him. The great Jim Saints. Jim Salisbury.
With the In-N-Out t-shirt.
Never a doubt, Jimmy. Never a doubt.
My boy. We said this, you and I, because VG was neurotic. We told him, wait until kickoff, all right? There's going to be a moment in September, the middle of September. We're not even there yet. When we'll forget all about this funk that they're in, and it will be a distant memory. And lo and behold, we wake up today, and the Dodgers lose late last night to Chicago, and the Phillies have the best record in baseball.
Yeah, and it's something that they want because they would like to get that home field throughout the month of October. But, hey, look, they survived a couple months of really rough play, kind of relied on that cushion they built, and they're back to being a really good team. I think, what did they got, 11 out of 15, I think. Getting some good pitching, getting a lot of timely hitting. They've won some ball games late. Look like they're rounding into form just at a good time because the air is getting cool and we know what's coming. And you got a humongous payroll. You got a star-studded roster. You've been to the postseason 2 years in a row. Come close 2 years ago. Knocked out early last year. Your superstars are all north of 30. The odometer is rolling on this team. All Octobers are important. This one is super important. I think this year, they got to cash in on one of these. So October is the month in which this team will be defined. I know they have the best record in baseball. That's a great thing. But October is the month in which this team will be defined, and we're almost there.
All right. Before we get to October, let's have Kyle Schwarber Appreciation Day. Schwarber,
Why not?
14 leadoff home runs. He now has 35 homers. There's only active guys with 34 seasons of 35-plus home runs. Judge, Trout, Stanton, Arenado.
Wow. Good company, huh? What jumps out to me about the 14 leadoff home runs is 13 of those have resulted in wins. So you're getting that early thunderbolt, and you're setting a tone. And I believe in that stuff, setting a tone and coming out and grabbing somebody by the throat early and taking control of a ball game. So I've said it a million times. I think he's been a great signing, both on the field and off. He's a terrific clubhouse guy, terrific leader, and he produces at the plate. I mean, leadoff, he's such an unconventional leadoff man. We know that. We debated all winter. But, leadoff, other than like McCutchen had a pretty good run before he hurt he had that good season, then he hurt his ACL. Other than that one season of McCutchen before the ACL, they really struggled to come up with a legit leadoff man. And I will acknowledge it's unconventional, but the guy gets on base, the guy makes things happen, and they win ball games. That's what it's all about. I mean, they didn't go to the postseason for 10 straight years. He shows up. They're about to go to the postseason for the third straight year in the 3 years that he's been here. They targeted him for a lot of reasons. Kevin Long had him in Washington, and he did some leading off in Washington. They liked it. They actually targeted him as a leadoff man. And he is unconventional, but delivering. And it's all about that left-hand column with the W's above it, and he helps produce a lot of them. So you can have Kyle Schwarber Appreciation Day any day you want.
So to me, to talk about October, there's two keys in my eye. It's Turner, right? Because Turner, if you get consistent play from Turner, and that's at the plate and it's also in the field, right? And Suarez, who I'm a little concerned about with his velo down. But those are the two, to me, the biggest keys, because I think Bryce is going to always step up to the moment. Schwarber's going to give you, we're going to give you. The kids are going to do what they're going to do. Wheeler and Nola are going to be what they are. I think the key's going to come down to Turner and Suarez.
I definitely agree with you on Turner. He's a catalytic force on this team, and I definitely hear and agree with your point on the defense. You don't want an Ole to cost you a game. The defense it's a concern. And I think it's something they're going to have to talk about here in future off seasons about where he's eventually going to land, because he's going to be here a long time. Suarez is a big key too. I mean, hey, look, wouldn't it be great if you could get Ranger Suarez in the first 2.5 months? Because, he hasn't pitched well. A lot of hard contact last night, a lot of hits, a lot of contact. Just hasn't looked right since he's come back. And, he needs some time. It's been 4 starts now. The stuff is down. Why? They say he's healthy. He wouldn't be out there if he wasn't. Starting pitching is what they built that great record on, even though I think they have a dynamic offense. They need to hit home runs too. And they can't swing and miss. There's a lot of keys to October. You can't go into one of those nights where you get frustrated and you're trying to hit a million home runs and you're swinging at everything off the plate, and all of a sudden you got 13 strikeouts. So, and it's in their DNA. It could happen at any time, but it's a fine line. They do need to slug the ball because that's how they're built. We see recently they have, and they're winning a lot of ball games. So, but yeah, you'd love to see Suarez his last, I think, 3 starts turn it around. I don't know if he's going to slot in 3 or 4 in the postseason rotation. I don't know if he's going to be in the bullpen. Just the fact that we're talking that way, indicates that he hasn't been what he was early since he's come back from the back issue. I don't know if, I don't think he'd be out there if he's hurt, and they're going to be careful with him. But I don't know if he has his legs yet, if he's in tip-top shape yet, but it hasn't been what we saw early.
What's disconcerting is the velocity. That's what scares me.
Yeah, whereas, maybe he hasn't built the arm strength yet, and that's what they're going to say, and that's what they've hinted at with Thompson talking a little bit about dead arm. But he's had 4 starts. You should be seeing some uptick. So you're going to have to, you want to see that coming for. I don't know what's going on there, but thank goodness they got Christopher Sanchez pitching well, and they have those 2 studs up top, because, this, I think in the playoffs, this is a team that you're going to look to get 7 from your rotation and kind of shorten the bullpen a little bit because they are a team that's built on starting rotation.
Yeah, and I like having a lefty in the rotation. Like, in a perfect world, you just have to. Wheeler and Nola complement each other, and what makes it really effective is if you got a dialed-in Ranger, because he's completely different than both of them, and he comes from the left side. Yeah,
it's great to kind of change up the mix a little bit and the looks a little bit on the opposing hitter. But
I believe in the eyes and making the eyes work. Not getting used to that. Like I in series play, I think that matters.
But you talk left to right. I'll take a
left right, changing speeds, how different they are. Like Wheeler and Nola, even though they both come from the right side, complement one another because they just pitch differently and they change a batter's eye level.
You talk about lefty righty, and it's great to have a mix. I still would take a good pitcher any day. If it's 5 righties, I'm taking them. I'll take the guy who's effective, who take you deep into that game, and just a good pitcher over a mediocre lefty to just say I have a lefty. The fact of the matter is they have 2 good lefties. One of them is pitching well in Sanchez. One of them is not in Suarez, but we know it's in there. It's just about getting it unlocked here in the final couple before they have to set their postseason rotation. And I mean, there's a lot to that. They're probably going to get a first-round bye. It'll give them a little rest and allow them to set some things up in their rotation. But fascinating question: where does Ranger fit in, especially in that early round, that second round? You have to take into consideration Suarez, his home and road splits. He's been dynamic at home. He's struggled on the road. All these things are stuff you're going to think about. You have to factor in Rangers' postseason experience. So it would really help if he would finish with a couple strong ones here, because it's a concern. Yeah, I'm concerned with what I see, and I'm sure they're talking about it as well, Anthony. If we're talking about it, they're noticing.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was interesting over the last couple of days. Bryce took a lot of shrapnel. People wanted Bryce. They wanted punitive measures to be taken by Topper, which I think is the most absurd, ridiculous thing in the world. And look, last night comes back. 4 hits. Should have had the home run if not for the kid. I mean, I just thought, like, when we talk about benching players and being punitive, there has to be a reason for it. And you don't need to teach Bryce Harper a lesson about anything. He has the right attitude.
Yeah, I agree. He's been in the league, 12 years. He doesn't need a lesson at this point. But he does know he messed up. I mean, he put his hand up immediately and was accountable. What I think happened, and sometimes when he doesn't run out of ball, I think it's, he'll square up a ball and hit a seed to second base, and it's frustration. It's human frustration. And I think the fact that he hadn't homered in a while, still hasn't homered in a while, 28 games, it was pure frustration there. And he knows he needed to be on second base in a tie game because scoring position, now you're looking at a walk-off win. He knows he messed up. That said, you pull a ball like that, you're looking at it right in right field. There's no reason you can't sprint, and then when you see it go over the wall, downshift a little bit. But, hey, it didn't happen. He went right up to the manager. I don't think you had to bang him over the head with it and send a message, but he knows he needs to be better in that regard. People are watching him. He's had a target on his back since he's 16.
Yeah.
People are going to pick apart every move he makes with a microscope, and they have for years. You can't give people the opportunity to pick it apart. You got to run out balls, especially when a game is on the line. He messed up. He knows it. No reason to hit him over the head with the frying pan and sit him on the bench. And really, Anthony, you can talk about example and whatnot, but you sit him, you're kind of punishing the rest of the team because he's a great player. You need him. And then he goes out the next night. He gets 3 doubles the next night, helps you win a game. He's involved in that, scrum where there is a galvanizing, to me, team-building moment. The message was sent with Rob Thompson's body language. I think he respects Rob Thompson a lot. Rob Thompson was very disappointed. You could see it in the camera angle. You could see it when they talk. Message sent, move on. Don't do it again. That said, it might happen again. But you know what? It's the way the world works. There are different rules for different guys. Tony La Russa had different rules for Albert Pujols. Bobby Cox had different rules for Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox. Talent, sometimes gets cut a break because they do help the whole. And the whole unit.
And again, you're like, and when you do those measures, you take those measures, there has to be a result that you're looking for, right? Like it's, hey, I want to send a message to the rest of the group, or I want him to send a message to the player himself. But there was nothing to gain, and that's my point. Is like I just think it's a ridiculous conversation.
And you look at this power outage. He hasn't homered now, 28 games. But the last 3 games, he's hit a ball off the top of the wall. I mean, the ball he didn't run out, he absolutely murdered. He scorched that ball. If he's under it a millimeter, it's 20 rows up. So it's almost like the lack of home runs has sort of fueled a off-base narrative that he's not producing. He's hitting over 400 in his last 18 games with a 1-point-something OPS. He's putting up a lot of doubles. He's hitting for average, and he's doing it while he's banged up.
The ball. You said it. He's murdering the ball. He's barreling up. Listen, You know how it is. It's a lot of lift, right? Sometimes you go through those periods where you're seeing the ball really well, but you're hitting line drives, and he's crushing the ball. So it doesn't matter. Again, as long as he's seeing the ball well, it doesn't matter.
It tells you where the game is gone, and it's kind of a sad commentary when we're sitting here bemoaning line drives. Imagine that. Line drives are great.
Line drives are great. Jimmy,
They are.
The shirt's nice, crisp and white. Your hair game is on point. The hair looks fantastic this morning.
Thank you. I'm due for a haircut, though.
Yeah. Now that the juggernaut that the Phils are and have been all season, let's look to October. Do you think they carry 12 or 13 pitches? What's their bench look like? Has Cody Clemens played himself onto the playoff roster?
That would be my number one bench question. Find a way to get Cody Clemens on there. That kid, he gives you good at bats, plays with a lot of energy and effervescence. He produces. I like him a lot.
He's so clutch.
He's clutch. He's got a little win DNA in him.
Yeah.
I try to find and I wouldn't hesitate to play him one night in left field if you thought you had, depending on what you're getting from Marsh. What was the other question? The bench
Do you think they go 12 pitchers, 13 pitchers?
Rob is very reluctant to go with fewer than the 13 in the regular season. I do think they could get away with 12 in the postseason, depending on what they see on their bench. So I'm not sure which way they're going to go there. But something to keep an eye on.
Are you at the In and Out? Are you a double, a quad, single? What's your order?
Oh boy, it depends. When I was young and a really good eater,
Yeah.
I would do 2 double doubles.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
2 double doubles, and then I would add pickles because pickles are an off menu item. And I always
get the pickle love, man.
Pickle.
I don't get the pickle.
I could go 2 double doubles, but and I love to go to different In-N-Out burgers, because on the receipt it has the store number, so you can go to all the different ones, like the Wawas around here.
Right.
And so I've been to a lot of different ones. I actually been to store In-N-Out Burger number 1, which was a real thrill.
Wow.
It was like going to Cooperstown. It was like going to the Montreal Forum.
Where is store number 1?
The store number 1 is in Baldwin Park, just east of LA, and it's the original site. But they've rebuilt it, but on the original site, so it's still called store number 1.
Oh, that's cool.
But you go around to some of the old time ones. I think store number 4 I've been to, and it looks like, you remember the old photo mat?
Awesome.
You remember the photo mat, Anthony?
Yeah.
The little hut where you dropped off. It's almost like that. There's nowhere to sit. It's 2 sides to a drive-through. It's over near Pasadena. And,
Yeah.
Do you
I was at that one. You know what? To me, underrated the fries.
Yes.
I think the fries are delicious.
Yeah, they're good, but to me, it's all about
like the
the
fries.
burger.
What
Like
about
animal
the shakes?
sauce?
You do the shakes?
I don't do the shakes. I actually get a bottle of water. I'm all about the burger. And but Anthony, you're writing on deadline.
Full. I agree with him.
Anthony,
No shake.
Anthony, you'll appreciate this. Writing on deadline, you're pulling your hair out. You're all tensed up. They're waiting for the story. When you're on the West Coast, the deadline is doubly worse because you're trying to get to that In-N-Out before it closes. Right?
Yes.
You close at 1:00 during the week, but 1:30 on Friday and Saturday. But if the game goes late, Anthony,
And
there's
traffic, traffic there too is murder.
but if the game goes late, there's always Del Taco.
Yes, Del Taco is awesome. I love Del Taco.
I'm in.
24 hours.
Food show with Jimmy.
Yeah, one day
a fast food show with
we
Jimmy
actually
Singh.
should do a travel junk food sports writer show because there's something like Indianapolis. How do you feel about the Steak and Shake?
I like a good steak and shake. I'm on board.
Yeah. I agree. The steak, the burgers, it's not like the In-N-Out burger. It's a different burger. But
I like steak and shake. I I like Whataburger in Texas. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, very good.
At 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, you never met a burger you didn't like, right?
Agreed. Yes, agreed. And then in Montreal, they have the McDonald's is open all night to 24
And the Harveys. They got the Harvey burger. But in Montreal, I'm only on one thing. I'm on the smoked meat, the Viande Fumée.
Yes.
That's for me.
Yeah.
I love that city. Really miss
How
that
about
city.
Denver with the burrito out of the and San Diego too. The burrito out of the trunk is an awesome item. They have the trunk burritos.
You're going to have to explain this to me.
Like
They're
a
burritos.
burrito.
Lady bakes burritos,
Okay.
and they sell them out of a trunk.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
They're
In
delicious.
San Diego, I'm only about fish tacos.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
you
he's
are.
very
yeah.
particular with his talent.
Well, that's how good. You know what was a great underrated ballpark food? Was San Francisco. Whether it was Candlestick or the new one, the food was. I never do this, but they had pasta in San Francisco, and it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. It's done perfectly.
San Francisco's concessions are great. They have one of their concessions is the clam chowder and a bread bowl. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
But they have great. Those garlic fries in San Francisco. But
I forgot about those. Those are unbelievable.
you know what though? I can only eat 5 of them because you have bad breath for a month.
Yes. Well, that's like that place. You ever eat at the Stinking Rose?
I've driven by it up in was it North Beach?
Yes,
But I've never been
North
to it.
Beach.
Yeah.
So at that restaurant, it's a garlic motif, and everything is garlic.
Everything's garlic.
Like you'll have garlic butter and everything is garlic, and it's actually like really good until the next day when it's coming out of your pores.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't go near it. Like you can't go near anybody.
Imagine working there.
Oh my God!
Never getting rid of that
it
smell.
was terrible. It was like I don't want to go near anybody. I'm embarrassed. I reek like garlic. Then I'm Italian. It makes it worse.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Garlic is one of those things that it's got to ride the line. You
How
eat
about
it, but you
Baltimore,
don't eat too
dude?
much.
Baltimore, strong Baltimore.
Baltimore, the obvious crap, but
Fenway sausage, Fenway Park hot sausage, the best in the country.
outside the ballpark, yeah, I grew up eating those, man.
They're the greatest. Those hot sausage, the sausage and peppers that they are the truth.
Anthony, I still cut my front lawn with the stripes like Fenway Park. And to get in the total atmosphere, I light up the grill and throw some sausages on for when I'm done.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. Boston is a great, that's a great food. That's a great town.
That's why it's Jimmy
Anthony,
Steak.
City Field, good burger.
Yes.
And Nathan fries. And I'm sure you went, when you were covering the Mets, did you ever go to Mama's in Corona Park?
Oh, yeah.
Over there, right by the stadium, that deli.
Yeah. It's right in Queens. Yeah. Yep.
The Corona Park, is that what it's called?
Mama's. I remember
Mama's
Mama's.
at Corona.
Mama's was a big deal.
Yeah.
I used to go but I was in Brooklyn a lot too because of all and then Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. Like there were some good spots. There's how about Chicago? Which stood out to you in Chicago? Besides the pizza.
I do like Gino's East. I like the deep dish.
Yeah, Giordano's guy.
Yeah, a lot of arguments. People say Malnati. I always was a Gino's East guy.
Malnati. Yeah, that's right.
And in Chicago, I like Portillo's where they have the hot dogs and the stuff.
Yeah, the Italian beef. Do you know what the Italian beef is, boys?
Oh yeah, one was
You
so
know
bad.
about that? So it's a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah,
and they put the giardiniera on it, the peppers.
I love
and
giardiniera.
They put all that on it.
It's the best.
And it's good. I still think, I'll be honest with you, like the cheesesteak blows that away.
Yeah, I'll take a great cheesesteak. Do you ever go to? I'm sure you've been to the Billy Goat in Chicago, right?
Oh yeah, Billy Goat, legendary man. That was a legendary baseball bar. I mean, everybody used to. I mean, about God rest his soul, Harry was the king of the Billy Goat.
Right, and that's the bar that Belushi based the Cheeseburger skit on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
The Billy Goat.
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. It was right across from the Tribune. It was a great old newspaper bar.
Yeah. Only cheeseburger. Yeah. That was a great spot.
So
It's still there. It's just different.
Linda Del Castle in the comment section said that Boston has a good Cuban sandwich in there too. I was not aware of that.
Cuban sandwich, really?
Yeah.
It's funny because the Tex-Mex, when you go to Texas, in Houston, it's like, how about the Galleria? All the great spots in Houston.
Yeah, all those Papacitos and all that stuff. All those. Yeah, hey, look, you can get fat in any city. There's good food everywhere.
I know, man. The road was the greatest. In fact, you and I, our next life, we're going to do the Baseball Writers Food Show.
Jimmy Steaks in the Cup.
It can't be fancy. It's got to be a hole in the wall.
Of course. And by the way, there's a lot of beer that you got to drink.
Now and then you can have one or two. But I'm still about the cheeseburger.
Dude, there was the greatest, like the burger, but then you got the beer in the press box. Remember the beer in the press box when they would leave it open, the tap, and you could go in and you would have the big beer and you write your story? That was one of my favorites.
Those days are so long gone, but almost like Yankee Stadium, Anaheim, Montreal, Atlanta, Philadelphia, you could, go in the dining room and get a beer while you wrote your story. It was very relaxing, but I mean, those days.
It was relaxing. I used to do it. I used to go get.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
your editor must have loved that.
No, because you weren't drunk. You would have one beer, but you would sit there and it just, I don't know, it put your mind at ease. Like it just having a beer, writing a story.
You slamming a keg over there?
It was like what Aldous Huxley said. It would open the doors of perception.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, Jimmy, let me summarize. Your quotes so far: line drives are good. At 2 a.m., I never met a burger I didn't like, and you can get fat in any city. Perfect.
Best analysis in the city. Let's go.
Let's go.
I love you, man. You're the best, brother.
Literally.
I don't know nothing about baseball, but you bring a burger on and,
Don't lie. Don't lie. You're a great baseball man. Stop it. Great baseball man.
The best.
It's why we love these conversations.
Is Greg calm down? Where's Greg's panic meter?
I don't even remember panicking, man. It's been all roses and sunflowers
Cool
all season.
All Greg's panic. Remember that. All Greg's panic.
Not Greg.
That'd be a great name for a microbrew, like Panicking Greg or Greg's panic meter.
Panicking Greg. I like that.
Panicking Greg's good.
Yeah.
I roll with that.
Yeah. I love that. My brother, we love you, buddy. Thanks, Steaks.
Right, good being with you.
Jim Salisbury.
That was awesome.
Come on, man. He's the best.
Let's go.
He got me into that. Oh, I loved it.
Going around the league in food with Anthony and Jim.
I loved it. Oh, my God.
Dude, ballpark pasta?
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, if he says it, I mean, come on now.
Listen, now, of me, right? Like, you know me. You know I won't eat. I'll scold you if you don't make your own marinara. There's nobody should ever buy jarred sauce, tomato sauce. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I just bought some yesterday.
Yeah, like you are an absolute disgrace. All right?
You're actually Italian.
Yeah, you're a disgrace of the utmost. It takes 20 minutes to make a delicious, fresh marinara.
This is me.
Yeah, it takes 5 to heat up the jar.
Yeah, and you're going to eat slop. You're eating slop. And actually, I say 20 minutes. It's really 15 minutes. But you're eating slop. You're eating garbage. So.
Prego? Come on.
Prego.
Oh, my God.
Not even Rouse. He
I
goes
can't-
Prego.
Wegmans has got a good sauce in the jar.
Rayo's, not Rayo.
It's called a Moore.
Thanks,
It's good.
guys.
It's a
I appreciate
restaurant
that.
in New York.
I didn't even
Don't
know.
eat none of that stuff. All right? Please don't do that.
You know, I'll make my
It
own
takes
sauce.
5 seconds. Really,
Classico?
5 minutes.
Ooh,
All you
Classico marinara.
All you got to do is open up a can
test.
of San Marzano tomatoes. I'm not even telling you to get the fresh tomatoes because I'm in Jersey. The Jersey tomatoes are all over the place, so I make them fresh. But you just go get San Marzano tomatoes. You get olive oil. You get a little garlic, very little, right? So it kind of melts within the oil. A good olive oil, a little tiny
Extra
onion.
virgin olive oil.
All right? Yeah, and then fresh basil.
Yes.
That's it.
I do like
That's all you got to do.
I do like to throw some
And
wine
if you
in there,
like,
though, 'cause
don't throw wine in there.
it gives a little
No, you don't do it.
flavor.
It's sugar. You don't do it. It doesn't give flavor. It's not good.
Guys.
You go with the tomato. If you want a little heat, you throw a little red pepper flakes.
All right.
That's it. The basil gives you the sweetness.
All right.
You don't need wine.
Dinner at Cuz's tonight, guys.
But the real question is, are you eating the pasta in the stands?
So I'm telling you, right? I was like, get the hell out of here, right? I was covering a game in San Francisco. I was there. A friend of mine got it. It was a bowl of gnocchi, right? And it was gnocchi mozzarella, right? So it was with the sauce and the mozzarella and whatever. So the guy goes, dude, you got to taste this. I'm like, I'm not tasting that. Stop. You got this at the concessions? I tasted it.
In California,
and I was
too.
like, wow. It was the truth. It was the absolute truth.
If
I was
anyone
like,
lead in with dude, it's usually pretty good. They always say that.
I got to tell you,
dude,
it was unbelievable. And San Francisco's got a lot of it, like great food, culinary place, and there's a lot of Italians in San Francisco. North Beach is a big Italian neighborhood. It was ridiculous. It was really good. Like I used to go there and I would get it. I'm like, you know what? They had a rigatoni and they cooked it al dente.
I love a rigatoni. It's my
And then
favorite.
the pasta was al dente. I mean, I don't know how they do it. It was San Francisco had unbelievable food. He's right. They had these garlic fries that were like fresh garlic. They were tremendous.
Garlic a great item.
The poor observer sitting and watching the sports talk show, and it's the Food Network.
Well, this is what happens, right? Like when you're on the road covering this stuff, you get to know all these cities and the places to go and hang out.
I love when he talks about
drink.
Italian culinary because that's how I am with Colombian food. I get animated, you get excited.
Well, yeah, especially a guy like him.
So listen, when you go to the ball game and they do take me out to the ball game, do you get irritated because they have, instead of the bouncing ball, they have a bouncing jar of Prego that leads you through the words? Does it just irritates you seeing the Prego jar on the screen?
Well, first of all, I
Enraged.
that enrages me more than
refuses
anything.
to sing it at the ball game. You're not singing it, Ant. Look at that Prego jar cursor
Should be a
bouncing.
tomato. Should be a tomato bouncing. Come on.
Disgrace. It is. It's a flat out disgrace. It's unbelievable. It's terrible. By the way, this portion of the program brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. Don't forget, Brad's going to be back, I think, Friday.
I miss him, man.
You miss Brad?
He's too busy in Sandro Pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Yeah, he better be back before week 2.
Oh, yeah. Cause
We got to get everybody's games.
football
We'll have
season.
you ready. We'll have you all set for it. But don't forget the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. That's right. All ready for it. New customers, you got to get that super odds boosts. Yeah, man. 50-1 for new customers. Oh, my God. You got to just download it right now. In fact, you get the 50-1 odds boost for new customers, and you can apply it to anybody. So you like the Birds? 50-1. You like the Niners? 50-1. You like the Chiefs for the three-peat? 50-1. You get it all. It's incredible. Don't forget, tomorrow night, it's Buffalo, Miami tomorrow night. And Monday night, Eagles, 6.5-point favorite. You got to lay it, right? And again, one of the things I love is like team totals. So you look at the Eagles, and one of the consistent plays of the year will be over their team total. You could do that on the Bet Park Sportsbook and online casino app. All right. The only one, it's the official 4for4 Sportsbook app. That's right. And all new users sign up, make a deposit, receive that 50-1 super odds boost. That's it. This is a limited time offer for new customers only. BetParks.com has terms and conditions. You got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. You play for fun. You love to win. You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we're also brought to you by Dr. Andy. Dr. Andy created Sleep Healthy PA. All right? Sleep Healthy is a place to go and get rid of sleep apnea, to stop snoring. You see it, stop the snore. That's Dr. Andy's slogan. Stop the snore. You just add Skeeves, our producer, because he's a snorer. Yeah, you don't have to do that. With Dr. Andy's going to stop it. What it is like we all have some sort of blockage of our air passageways. So Dr. Andy was a trained dentist. So he developed dental appliances to help open up your passageways. He has laser therapy to help open up your passageways. The result, you don't need a CPAP machine. You don't need anything. You sleep soundly. Good, restful sleep. All right? Your body regenerates. You reach that REM sleep that you need. All right? So go see Dr. Andy. I can't stress enough. He's the best. SleepHealthyPA.com. That's SleepHealthyPA.com.
You do anything with the Jimmy leg? Pagan's got the Jimmy leg last night, driving me nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I better talk to Dr. Andy. Maybe there's a dental device to stop the Jimmy leg.
And she does the
Hey, God bless him, because usually I don't have a great perception of dentists, but, dentists doing good in the world. I like the story.
Dr. Andy's unbelievable guy. I mean, one of the greats. Dr. Andy Cohen. And he's a great photographer, too.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, great photographer. All right. Joining us every Wednesday at this time. God, I love him.
He's the best.
He really is. It's funny when we were talking about our guests. We go on Wednesdays, Kevin Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And VG got excited and JP got excited.
Oh, yeah.
Because he brings a smile and a joy. One of the great Delaware Valley people that is doing huge things at ESPN and ABC, the great Kevin Negandhi. What's up, Kev?
How we doing, fellas? Good morning.
Good to see you, buddy. Look
That's
at
great
that.
seeing you.
Dogs.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we got a ton to get to.
Okay.
Before we get to Friday night, let's get to last night. The Fightins, all of a sudden, there's no worry. Best record in baseball.
Hey, listen, when Schwarber goes deep to set the tone, you see Trey, Trey hits in bunches, right? And if Trey's getting hot now, the biggest relief for me, I think for a lot of people, is just to see Bryce go yard, to get 3 doubles, to show some fight. At one point you're like, oh my God, don't go to the mound, man. Don't go to the mound. Everybody else, but not you, especially with the issues that he's battling. But it's great, man. And you know what? And I think you guys can all agree, it's just great to see other people contribute. Guys that weren't even on the roster a couple weeks ago, pinch hitters, which we desperately need, finding a way. The night before, it's Cody Clemens. It's just finding guys that take the pressure off the main stars, and the main stars can still do their thing. It was really refreshing, and it's fun, and let's just continue. Well, I think the magic number is 10 games. Let's go.
Let's go. And listen, they got to get Ranger right. But other than that, I mean, I love where they're at offensively. You bring up Turner. He's one of my keys. The engine, Turner in the lineup and in the field. He's got to be consistent in the field. Means so much to that club.
It does. And I will say this. Like, if we talked yesterday, I think the topic would have been how lucky Bryce Harper was to be saved by Cody Clemens, right? Especially not running it out and the concerns and the questions. And this is what a superstar does. He goes back, the type of superstar that I think that Philadelphia, connects with. He goes back, apologizes to Topper, and then responds with 4 hits, right? Including a home run. That's it. Own it and then produce. And, it's a good thing. That didn't fester, right? Like, that feels like, even though it was 36 hours ago, everybody's completely moved on. Winning, of course, cures a lot of things. But just accountability and then responding on the field. And that's what Bryce continues to do for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it was ridiculous. Around here, people are talking about benching him. And I'm like, what? Like, you don't need to do anything punitive to Bryce Harper. It's ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous. He's fully aware. I'm sure he was completely embarrassed. He's a team guy.
Yes.
Just stop.
So let's talk about Friday night. Oh, my! Kevin Barkley! Saquon Barkley. Oh, what a dream it is to have a running back like him. My God.
Saved the night, Barkley, right? He saved the game because we needed those tough yards. We needed, did you notice when he got, it felt like he got a stinger, right? With the final 2 minutes in that first half, and then he goes to the sidelines, and the offense just did not look comfortable without him in the backfield. So what a difference he is. It's amazing. I live in Giants country, Giants, Patriots, Jets country, and I'm surrounded by a lot of Giants fans, and they're just absolutely miserable, especially what they did on Sunday with the offense. Yeah, they're really bad. Like, really, really, really bad. And Saquon, so remember the Patriots dynasty? I always thought it was really smart by Belichick. He had the core guys, and then what he would do is he would add a couple of dogs, like guys that were hungry, guys that needed to prove themselves, and they would infuse a certain type of energy into the core that had already won Super Bowls, right? We saw that specifically with Corey Dillon. We saw that with Randy Moss. We saw that with Rodney Harrison, Junior Seau. When they were accumulating Super Bowls, they were bringing in veterans that were on dog teams and that wanted a little piece, right? And that Saquon's a perfect example of that, where the Eagles have a foundation, and then you bring a guy of his talent who's hungry and is thankful and appreciative of it. It changes the entire team. And you know who went through that probably just 14 years ago when we brought in Roy Halladay, right? With the Phillies and the way they were rolling. And then he infused that. And,
yes.
I just finished Todd Zalecki's book about Doc, which came out a few years ago. And it really stood out to me the night
it was a great book.
Throws the no-hitter, right? He throws the no-hitter against the Reds in that playoff game. And how everybody was so happy for him, even though those guys have already, the core of that group had already been there. They've already been in the playoffs. They were just so happy for him to get that. And I think that's what you're going to see this season. One of your star guys who's hungrier than ever, and he's going to play such a big role. He's going to be a monster in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. He had no O-line. He had no skill, no passing game to open up. And he comes here, it's a dream. You got a great offensive line. You got a passing game. It's like I was saying earlier, football's basic, right? Where's the safety? All right? The safety's everything. Or you load the box, all right? Because you load the box, theoretically, man advantage, stop the run game. You can't load the box against me because I have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard and whatever. They're box proof.
100%. And two things that I took away from that game is, was it nice to see motion? Wasn't that great? It's great to see motion in an offense to give your quarterback at least an answer of what kind of coverage he's going to see, right? And can we just stop the read option? Just pitch the ball to 26 and let's go. It's not working.
Dude, I said the same thing.
We're done. Just stop the read option. We're done.
No more RPOs. No more RPRs. You want to have Jalen in the run game once in a while. All right, it keeps the defense. But you don't need to rely on it. You don't even need the tush push, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't need the tush push when you have 26 there. You don't need the tush push.
And so I love Becton at that guard spot.
He's huge.
In the run game. Poof.
Yeah, he's humongous. What a great addition. That's another one that you get somebody who's got that first-round talent on an awful team, bad experience, come over from the Jets. Hey, come into a culture, get coached by Stoutland, and then we could utilize your size. He's so massive. It's really nice to see. There is some concerns. It was an ugly game, and defensively there were some concerns. The pass rush. I'd like to see Huff a little bit. We didn't see a lot of him putting any pressure. Nakobe Dean, there were moments, but listen, a win is a win, as we have seen. I think I talked to you last week about it. The first couple games are going to be preseason games, basically. Sloppy, let's figure things out. Let's just get the W. The sod was awful, and now let's kind of press the reset button here in America, and let's get a win on Monday night against the Falcons.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, when we talk about Jalen, and obviously the decision-making needs to improve, and we all saw that. But one of the things, he doesn't need to be a top 5 quarterback for them to win.
Nope.
The offense is there for him. He's got a quarterback's dream. So,
yes.
And the fact that Kellen Moore's a professional, all you got to do, his floor is enough for them to win. That's it.
Without question. The only thing he has to do, and I'm not going to use the word game manager because no, he doesn't. The only thing he has to do is protect the football. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing that's the problem that was last year. Trying to do too much. Do not try to do too much on every single snap. Be smart about it and then protect the football.
Now, the only thing I'd like to see him incorporate, because that we're talking about his bottom, his floor, right? Because he that's what it is. To raise it even higher, to make that offense even more sick, is if he gets to the point where he has a little more subtle movements in the pocket, goes through his second and third progressions, because you didn't see that, and eyes not locking in on receivers.
Yeah. And to your point, use the middle of the field. Right? We didn't see him use the middle of the field last year. Use the middle of the field, and it really helps. I think every quarterback is going to be in a great position if your number 2 guy is Devontae Smith. The guy always delivers. You can always count on him in a tough situation, 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. Where's Devontae? Devontae will be in the spot that you need to be to move the chains, and he will catch the ball. That's not a knock on A.J. Brown. I'm just saying A.J. will get the coverage attention that we saw against the Packers. Devontae will always win that one-on-one with CB2. Always. And he's always going to be available, and he's always reliable. Smitty is such a reliable – he is kind of like that safety valve, safety net that quarterbacks love with tight ends.
How about we got an MLB, too. We got a Mike linebacker.
Oh, my God. Isn't that –
balls, baby. 15
he was
tackles.
He was everywhere, and he was so critical in the red zone when you turn over the ball to hold the team, a team like the Packers offensively that has dynamic, explosive players, to hold them to 9 points off those 3 turnovers. He played a massive role. And to your point, it's just refreshing to see a guy who understands the defense and attacks downhill and knows his role, and I think can be identified as a defensive stud in the middle, which we haven't had. And when we do have, it's a 1-year rental and we move on.
Hey, Kevin, VG here. I know you're a strict parent. Did you let the kids stay up Friday night and watch the game?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Come on. It's a Friday night.
Maybe you got to work out early Saturday morning.
I did. We had a lot of stuff going on Saturday. My boy Booger McFarland came over. We had wings.
Nice.
2 other kids.
He eats during the games.
Oh, yeah. No. I eat in commercial breaks, and then I go back in to watch.
All right.
He's got food out. It's not just a bottle of water and a tablet. He's got food out. He's normal.
And you don't eat?
Well, let's talk college
football.
You don't eat? No, during the game, I like this. Notebook, and I got a bottle of water, and I take notes.
Kevin, he's got a football on his lap right now.
Yeah. Support football.
I needed it today.
Hey, listen, I don't sit there like with the wings in my lap. Commercial break, I'm back out here by my bar area. And then I'll go back in when my 12-year-old dad, they're back, and I run back in, and I make sure I have my glass of whiskey in my hand. And,
nice.
Yeah,
like that.
So let's talk a little college football. All right,
let's do it.
So first of all, the Irish. Are you kidding me? How could you lose that game?
It's unbelievable. And I'm a huge Marcus Freeman fan. That offense. Listen, so they bring in the LSU offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock from that Jaden Daniels Heisman season.
Yeah.
You have Riley Leonard, and I was concerned against the A&M game. I just said, you know what, that was gritty. They figured it out.
Right.
They have yet to throw a touchdown pass in this offense, and they bring in Bo Collins, used to play at Clemson, the wide receiver. They don't have dynamic plays. They don't have dynamic down the field. And to win right now in college football in the NFL, you need dynamic plays. And I'm just stunned. There's no dynamic separation, especially when you have a guy like Riley Leonard and Denbrock in that offense.
I know.
It was a shock, man. And they were given a gift. By the way, if you're watching that game, they were given a gift on the spot because Northern Illinois had the first down. They had the first down with a minute to go, and I was like, oh, man, this is home cooking in South Bend. But their defense was great. The call blitz there on Riley Leonard to get him back in that field goal spot to try to kick a 60-plus yard field goal. Here's the other thing, though, and the way it's set up, they could still make the playoff. The way it's set up for them, because they'll have one loss, they'll be one of the 7 at-large teams. I think they have a legit shot to make the playoff.
Yeah, the only thing is, that's a tough stain. You got that stain on your record, man.
It's a top 5 loss. I think top 5 loss in program history.
Yeah. Man, that goes back to the Boston College loss. You remember back in the day?
Yeah, 93.
Whatever it was there.
93. In 1993, I was a freshman at Syracuse, and I remember watching that game in one of the dorm rooms. Then that's when Notre Dame was like, you can't touch
us. Yeah, that was a stunning loss.
And BC was a different type of team, too. That environment, if you didn't get into Notre Dame, you'd go to BC, right? So that was a phenomenal game.
Yeah. How about my boy, Matty Rule and the Huskers? They are back. Raiola is just, what a special talent he is.
And he is projecting, and we saw it at Temple, saw it at Baylor. Year 3, when he gets his guys, and this is year 2 right now, he has his quarterback. And at Temple, he got his quarterback, P.J. Walker, when he was trying to figure things out and they were losing. Raiola's got all that drip, as the kids like to say. He's got the swagger. He thinks he's Patrick Mahomes. Raiola also has this thing where he is going to bring guys. He will be the sun, and everybody will rotate around him. And Matt knows that. He's got his guy, and you're going to see an influx of talent like wide receivers and running backs that want to play with Raiola, and it's all set up. I think year 3 is going to be incredible. The one thing, this expansion with the Big Ten and separating, used to have divisions. If they had divisions still, he'd be running the West, and you can count them in Indy every year. Now they don't have that because they brought in all these teams that you lose the divisions. But Matt's made sure that's the identity of his team, the physicality, and now he's got the quarterback, and he did a great job in the portal to bring in some experienced wide receivers. This is a team to watch. And again, if they go, let's just say,
they're going to be 7-0.
Yeah, right. If they take 3 or 4 losses this year, next year is the year. Next year, so I would buy stock in Nebraska right now because next year is the year for that team.
So, this year is not the year for Michigan. We saw that in Texas.
No quarterback.
Woof, man.
No quarterback. And especially in the transfer portal. The fact that you don't have a quarterback lined up and ready to go is stunning. But I think at the end of last year, the unknown about Harbaugh, obviously the sanctions, the Connor Stallions, and their goal was just to win a championship that I'm still stunned that they couldn't get a quarterback in the portal.
Is Mizzou that good?
Mizzou's offense is unbelievable. And it's experience. They have the best, I think, wide receiver in the country in Burden. Burden could have been maybe the second wide receiver off the board. Brady Cook loves the offense. Drinkwitz is a fantastic coach. So Mizzou's really good. To me, The team, if we're talking about the SEC that no one's talking about, is Tennessee.
Yes.
I really like Tennessee a lot. That's a team like where you're looking at the board when it comes to, where are they prop bets and stuff like that, and where are they in making the playoff and
Yeah.
futures, and you can get some value there. That I'd look at Tennessee just to make the playoff and see if they could do something. Ole Miss as well. I think Ole Miss is going to be extremely dangerous.
They're scared. Like their offense is frightening.
It's
they're going to scare a
ridiculous.
lot of people.
Yeah, and their defense is phenomenal. They went to the portal and they spent so much money. I think they got like 9 SEC players in the portal to play defense. Ole Miss is really, really good. Texas and Georgia, of course. And then who knows what we're going to get from Alabama. That game stunned
Ohio
me a
State's
little bit
legit,
against
right.
USF. But right after that, man, Ole Miss and Tennessee and Missouri, good luck.
I know, man. It's unbelievable, man. That's a lot of fun. I got to tell you, I'm enjoying this season. It's so much fun. It is.
No,
I'm trying to get these guys into it.
I'm working on it. I'm in. I've watched some games this
Phil,
weekend.
it's so weird. Philadelphia has never been a college football town.
Never. And if it is, it's Penn State and, okay, we'll have a little run at Temple. And if it's like the most frustrating thing I think I go through is when I see Philly kids succeed elsewhere in the college space. And I'm like, why can't everybody? Because I think then you can identify with the guy through and through where it's very much like the Saquon Barkley relationship, right? In the area, understand it, goes to Penn State, and then you have kind of an attachment, right? And so it's great that he's with the Eagles. But I think that if you don't have a lot of local kids staying in the area and they go, we saw this 30 years ago. They would either go to Penn State, Syracuse, at one point Virginia Tech jumped in, then Rutgers started getting guys. But now they're everywhere, Ohio State. You see some kids at USC, Georgia, Florida, Florida State.
I don't think people understand what kind of hotbed we are for football. Between obviously St. Joe's Prep, South Jersey's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
There's some incredible football. It's one of the to me the secrets of football, pockets of football is South Jersey. I live
agree.
it. I see it all the time, man. It's
Totally
great
agree
football.
with you. It's great football, and some of the football in the city is phenomenal. You're going to find legit diamonds, and it is very frustrating for me. And to your point, it's hard to identify. And Penn State's. I think there's kind of like I don't know, I think with the fan base, it's just like, okay, well, you're going to win 9 games, and then we know the 2 losses. We could already see it on the schedule, right? And that backfield is so good, man.
I know.
That backfield is so Allen and Singleton are so freaking good. And Aller had to win that game with his arm against Bowling Green.
Aller's a stud, man. Aller's got a cannon. I love that kid. I love that kid.
Well, can you guys give me a team to root for? I don't want to root for one of the top 4. I don't want to root for Penn State because their fan base is annoying. Does Utah have a chance? Give me a team to latch on to right now.
I need a team.
USC, Miami.
Miami could. You may have some fun with Miami because the way their schedule shakes out, you could have fun with Miami.
Ole Miss is more fun than Ole Miss is a lot of fun, right?
Ole Miss is a hell of a.
They seem like they're top 5. That's not
but you're not the classic Georgia, Ohio State,
Texas.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm either gonna follow Ole Miss, Missouri, or Tennessee this year.
Another team that's a lot of fun, and they were a top 5 team, but right now they're a little shake. Oregon's a lot of fun. They're not one of those. Hey, we're a blue chip program. You could still have fun with them. You mentioned USC. I think you'd lose your mind watching USC because it can be very frustrating at times because you want them to play physical and you're like, come on, you got dudes, and they don't play that physical style. They got a quarterback, yeah. And you know why? Because Lincoln Riley's a genius when it comes to quarterback.
Yeah.
It's a shame that he has never figured out the defense with all the talent he's had on offense from Oklahoma to USC.
Let me run this idea by you. All right. So if you want to create a college football program in this area,
Yeah.
To me, you go to Delaware, right? And Delaware goes all in. It's a wealthy state. There's really nothing else, right? Because it's really a suburb state of Philadelphia, and southern Delaware is more towards Baltimore, right? And D.C. If you went to the University of Delaware, which has had a great football legacy, right? On the smaller
Blue Hens, yep.
right?
Yep.
You build a whole new mammoth stadium, and you take all that banking money, right? And you go in on NIL, and you buy all the Philly kids, and you buy all you could create a powerhouse.
You got a fan. I'm in. Let's do it.
What do you think of that?
Anna, you should be the next AD at Delaware. That's what I think. Just spend everybody's money. You should be the GM as well and the AD. I love that idea, though. Like, you could build something. And it breaks my heart because I wish Temple was in that situation. It felt like we were 7-8 years ago with Matt Rule and Jeff Collins, and it just seems so far away. And I still believe that Temple can be a place like that, but it's a different
I think the
place in the world.
It's so hard, man. Cities, especially East Coast cities, which is why the Delaware thing could work. The campus is a pretty campus. And you could actually, it's a close drive. You can attract kids,
Yeah.
Anyway, we love you, Kev. Yeah.
Kev, can I ask what's your whiskey drink when you are watching the birds?
Ooh.
So I got a handful. I could show you a whole bunch of this stuff. Obviously this isn't open yet, but this is good.
The old Blanton's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm a big Crown guy, man.
Okay.
Crown XO,
Wow.
Crown Reserve. I can live off of this. I could put this in a water bottle. I'm good to go. It's dangerous.
Are
man.
you a rocks guy? No rocks.
I love rocks. Let that thing just sit on there, and then especially in the summertime, and that thing is just so refreshing. And before I gotta go, I do want to say this: you've been so kind to ask about an update on the kids. I do want to update the audience because somebody asked me actually at ESPN. I was getting food, and they were like, "Hey, how'd your son do on this weekend? I was listening to you and Ant." So I want to set this up. Can I a little dad humble brag?
I love it.
Okay. So my oldest, he's been asking for 2 years, fellas, can I play tackle? We'd be like, okay. We held him off. So this year he's into tackle. Literally, it's the greatest thing for him. It's the thing that he is so focused on. So I warned him before the game. This is his first ever tackle football game, 7th grade. He's playing wide receiver and cornerback. I was like, hey, just understand. You may not see the football at the wide receiver position today because, at this age, a lot of guys are running. And he's like, I know, I only got one play in our 50 playbook. And I was like, I get it. That's not you. Just relax. So game's going on. Final play of the first half. There's a ball thrown to him, and it's basically a jump ball. He mosses the kid, grabs it, pulls it down, and takes it to the house 70 yards on his first catch.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then
Kev.
after that, the second half, he's double teamed, and all they do is just toss the ball up. He made 5 catches, including one where there was defensive pass interference, and he still caught it. He caught one at the 1-yard line, double teamed on a ball that he had no business catching, but jump ball. And,
he's like AJ Brown.
I was about to say you raised AJ Brown
muscle
over
the
there.
guy, and then it was called for a penalty. I watched the game that had 18 penalties, so they lost the game, but it was the only touchdown of the game, and he scored it, and it was a pretty proud dad moment, and his first catch again ever playing tackle football to the house.
Oh, that's
Nice.
fantastic! Oh my God, I love it. You got
Pretty
AJ Brown, Negandhi. That's unbelievable. That is so cool.
And then he played defense. He literally sat out 2 plays the entire game. He was D-back. He forced 2 fumbles as well as a D-back. They recovered it, but he forced it. I said, dude, you popping it out was perfect. And I was like, just keep doing that. And so he's locked in. I think.
You sure he's not playing in
turning back.
Colorado? Talk about a two-way player.
It's fun, man. It's fun being a football dad. You know that. You understand.
Dude, it's the greatest. I always say the story. My Anthony, after the first year of playing football, his chest got up, right? And he stood straight up, and he said, I'll never forget, he was talking to a friend of mine, an adult, and the guy goes, so do you play sports? And he goes, yes, I play football. And he said it with like great pride. And I was like, attaboy. He had his first game last Thursday, St. Augustine. I worked the chains, and I did.
Do you have like a vest, an orange
I'll
vest?
show you. I did
That's a good football dad. That's a good football.
He had, the greatest was, he had a big, like a tackle, like earth-shattering tackle. He's playing defensive end. He had an earth-shattering tackle, driven the kid to the ground, and I was like, wow. And I'm working the chains, and I went, And he gave me I see the helmet shake. It was great. And then Massimo, so we got to get our boys together because Massimo starts next weekend. He's QB1. So
I like that.
He'll be playing quarterback.
And I don't want to short my 10-year-old. My 10-year-old, I coach him in flag. He threw a touchdown pass and caught one as well later on that afternoon. So it was a good Negandhi weekend. It was a good Negandhi weekend.
Dude, it's the greatest, man. I love it. We love you, buddy. Always, it's a highlight of the week.
Thank you, man. Be good. Go Birds.
Go Birds. There he is.
Awesome.
Kevin Negandhi.
He's a lot of fun.
AJ Brown over there.
Well, you know what it is too? Like, dude, it's so much fun talking about the kids. I got to show you guys.
Do you have an orange vest on working the chain?
No, I didn't have the vest on. No, anything but the vests. I got to get it to
Magic
Steve.
running down the sideline.
If you have a picture, send it to me. I'll put it up.
Yeah, here you go, Cos.
Yeah.
I did a quick selfie to send it to my wife because I'm like, I got on it. They said, hey, volunteers. I've done the chains forever. Like either I coach or I'm on the chains. So I love the chains.
Do you?
So
did you have to run out for a measurement, or they bring the refs out for that?
Nah, the refs come in. The refs they're working with you on the sidelines for ball placement. Except one of the kids on varsity was my other partner. And he left in the second half. I come find him.
What?
Yeah, I had to get a friend of mine who was from the opposing team, from Paul Six, to come in to help me do the chains. All right, lots to get to.
Negandhi had the black Phil's hat with the black P. I was going to ask.
I know. I'm not a fan.
I got the hat too.
I know. I'm just not a fan of the black hat. Phillies. Phillies aren't black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This portion of the pro brought to you by the show, presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. Check out TrueMark.com/PHLY. Stop into a local branch to learn more about the credit union difference at TrueMark Financial today. All right, let me tell you about Parks Casino. Now, we talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook app, but what about the casino, man? Always something to do. A mecca of entertainment at Parks Casino. That's right. The mecca of entertainment. The Excite Center, one of the many things I love about the casino of choice. Parks Casino, the restaurants are sensational. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Pennsylvania's #1 casino, so close to anywhere. Street Road exit off at 95 and the PA Turnpike. The Excite Center, state-of-the-art entertainment venue inside Parks Casino, right in Bucks County, right in the Philadelphia suburbs. Name one of the best places for concerts and comedy, and a great place to see the country's best comedians and music headliners. Tickets on sale right now. JB Smooth, Curb Your Enthusiasm, September 14th. All right, this weekend, man. Yeah, I got to go see JB Smooth. Is the best. September 20th, Best of the Eagles, tribute to the band The Eagles. September 26th, Joe Bartnick from Bill Burr's podcast joins Joe Conklin, who's the hysterical, and we love him. September 28th, The Fray. October 4th, The Juicy Scoop podcast with Heather McDonald and Bravo and Chelsea Lately. October 5th, comedian Kev Herrera. October 25th, comedian Michael Blaustein. Parks Casino, this is how you win. ParksCasino.com for all tickets All right, for all the shows, got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, cuz. Well, weekend is coming up, and I'm not sure if everyone's got their plans, but listen, it's going to be some nice weather. We got the Phils back, or they're going to be staying here in town, against the Mets. Those stinking Mets. We got a series here with the Mets. We got some great concerts here. Bowling for Soup. John Anderson's got some great stuff going on. So if you're looking for some plans still for this upcoming weekend, make sure you guys download something. Download the Game Time app. It's free, and it's super easy, accessible to use there. And my favorite part about it, guys, we'll talk about accessibility. Look, you can see your seats right before buying. Like, you can see your view. Like, that's a big thing, guys. And then, of course, you can also see the price you're going to pay right before the checkout page. I think that's super big. I don't want to see $1,000 worth of fees once I hit that checkout page, and Game Time always hooks us up with that as well. So head on down to, if you're going to the ballpark, you can head to a bar, or if you're going to the concert, hang out at some bar close by, hang out, and right before, an hour before, go on to the Game Time app, check out the prices. You'll see those low prices. We have people saving up to 60% off on these tickets. Check it out. Get your cheap tickets there, and then you can enjoy the event as well. But as always, we always have you hooked up with the promo code here at PHLY. So if you download it, create your account there, use the promo code PHLY on your first purchase, and that'll get you $20 off the tickets. That's big, guys. $20? That's beer right there. All right. So download it today. Use the promo code PHLY after you create your account, and enjoy your weekend at the event you're going to this weekend. Thanks, cuz.
Oh, you got it, buddy. All right. This portion of the program brought to you by Rite Aid. Oh, that's me on the chain gang.
Yeah.
I like it, cuz.
I love it. You look good in those Dolce Gabbana glasses. You look good in them, man.
Fly as hell.
The clouds look nice. It's a good picture. What?
No, listen, I'll do anything for the kids, right? So I volunteer. I'm at every freaking practice, every whatever. I watch. You know how many baseball practices I watch in the fall, right? And it's cold.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
And Andrew, can you throw that picture back up for a second? Yeah. Yeah. It's glad. He's just like, your cause. That's a first down. Anytime your kid's got the ball, you hear what I'm saying? That's first down. They ain't short.
I'd be afraid to look over at the marker.
You kidding me? 4 inches? That's first down, yo.
Might cheat me on a yard or two.
Oh, that's hysterical.
He's like tripping kids.
You know what the shame was? One of the other dads was working the down marker.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
He had the wrong down on.
Oh, man.
And the coach
classic mistake
from the other team was like, dude, I called the play thinking it's third down, and it's fourth down.
That doesn't work. That's not a good argument. If the down marker is wrong, you're just screwed. If you rely on that, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's bad. No, that was bad. That's one of those Southwest Airlines take me away type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you're doing that, like, I'm making sure I'm diligent on that job.
Yeah.
Everybody boo this man.
Yeah. I mean, you're not getting paid, and people just hammer it. People
it's high school, man. It's starting to get real.
High school, not the
This was the freshman.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a big
no
violation.
good. All right. Joining us now, it's Wednesday. We take a look at your fantasy lineup with the one, the only, Geek. Geekus Aurelius. That's right. Good morning, Geekus.
Hey, good morning, cuz. Good morning, fellas.
Rough week for the Jets.
Oh, my God.
Man, why gotta remind
Dude, I feel for you, man. Because we can actually appreciate Jet fans. Like, you're kind of our cousins.
It's long suffering. This is going to be another disaster. It's all coming together. But actually, I mean, who was expecting Rodgers in his first game in like 3 years to do well on the road in San Francisco? I was expecting the loss.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that they were going to shock the world. And when they moved the ball down, remember on that one touchdown drive early, I went, they're going to watch. Man, they couldn't hold up. That line's decent, and the San Fran D line is a nightmare.
Yeah, no, the Jets have a great they're still a very good defense, but the San Francisco offense is greater. So that the match just didn't work out very well. And Christian McCaffrey being out meant nothing. Jordan Mason slides in and basically does a Christian McCaffrey impersonation in that game. But Jets' run defense is going to need some work. They need to shore that up.
All right, well, let's get down to it. By the way, anybody has any questions, you can DM me, Anthony Lewis Gargano, on Instagram, at Anthony L. Gargano on
I got
Twitter.
one off the bat for my own team. Can I ask him?
Yeah,
I need
go
some
ask
Jets
away.
insight. I got hit with the Puka injury. What do you think of Lazard? There's not much out there in my league. There's Lazard and then Tyler Johnson as backup. Would you go either one of those two?
Yeah, I think one of the things we learned on Monday was Lazard's going to be the WR2 for the Jets, and he's got that familiarity with Rodgers. So I just think we'll see more of it. 5-6 targets, he'll be fine. You know, you've got to have to plug him in. That was a guy. Couple of names though to keep an eye on, or on waivers this week. The big names for me, J.K. Dobbins, if he was floating around still, kind of took over that role, I think so. Maybe it's a little hope. But he looked much better than Gus
like
Edwards.
Dobbins. I like him in Baltimore. If you remember last year, I was very high because Baldy and I were talking about Dobbins last year. I like Dobbins.
I mean, you know, injuries, right? Achilles, what happens? Can you come back from it? I mean, we're going to find out. But Dobbins looked really good in that game. Another one from this past week was Isaiah Likely, 12 targets for a tight end / wide receiver. What is it? It was the same play over and over again. Is it for real?
Yeah.
But that was the guy that a lot of people spent a lot of their fob on this week. It was Isaiah Likely. We'll see, because Mark Andrews is still healthy over there. Just they didn't throw it to him. So we're going to learn. We're going to learn if that was the play or not. I'm sure most people couldn't get Jordan Mason. He should have been. If you watched this show with all of us before your draft, you already knew players like Jordan Mason belong on your bench.
You said it. That's why you're the geek.
I got him. Thanks to the
You're
Geek.
the geek. Listen, you're brilliant, man. You really are. You're the greatest fantasy guy I've ever encountered.
Hey, Geek, I got one. Olave or Jaden Reed this week?
No, Reed. Never. No, it's Olave. They are starting Malik Willis. He's terrible. But I'm glad you brought up that team, the Packers, because here's another little cheat code. You know, people ignore the defense in their fantasy league, or you don't just pay close enough attention to it. You can win your week with a correct choice on defense, as I've done many times. And I want you to go on the waivers right now, pick up the Colts. Malik Willis is not an NFL level quarterback. I've not seen him do things that look right on the football field. If they have to, I thought they were going to pick up Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's like, nah, I don't want it. They called him. He said no. So now they're stuck with Malik Willis. So I don't trust him throwing to anyone. I don't want anything to do with any kind of Packers this week. I just want Colts defense as my defense, and they're available.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. My man Sam from England, he needs one for the flex. Sutton, Mooney, or pick up Madison?
Oh, man, you got to just play Cortland Sutton and hope for the best with that one. It is a terrible matchup, though. Darnell, I get. By the way, speaking of Mooney, what about Cousins? Is it over? Is he just knocking the rust off? He looked terrible. That's another thing we learned, that team offensively, I'm not going to judge too harsh on week one, but it was a little scary over there. Drake London being taken in round 2, not feeling so.
Yeah, it's scary. But what are you going to do? Are you going to make that move now?
No, it's too soon. But if they have a rookie. I don't know why they took him, but maybe it's just put in Penix and pay Cousins and let him enjoy himself. He's a good guy, so I guess he's going to take some money from these guys.
Yeah, I don't know. They're weird, man. They're coming here Monday night, so we'll see him live Monday night. But their offense, man. This is historical. No matter who they have a quarterback, you can't get pitched in the game. You got a touchdown pass the other day, but like Drake London's a legitimate, like, number one threat, and Cousins is competent. That's why I was surprised.
That offensive line looked terrible. Cousins is so immobile that in the game against the Steelers, and another takeaway was watch out for that Steelers defense. They're really, really good. So, there's a little bit of that. I want to give him a couple more games. Got to knock the rust off a little bit. And we're going to see with that team if it's for real or not. But that's a lot of what week one was about for me from fantasy perspective. Just a lot of the thoughts we had what was real, what was fake. Like another one is Marvin Harrison Jr., being taken at the beginning of round 2 in your fantasy draft. And we talked about that on some of my pods. I said, that's silly. You don't take shots on rookies like that. And it's going to be a disaster for people who took him, I think. Even though he's a good player and he'll have good games, he was never worth
Well, Skeeves, you took him, Skeeves?
I took him, yeah. So thank you, Geek, for that news.
Well, you should listen to Geek in the first place.
Listen to watch the rankings. But yeah, I mean, the reality was you can't take a risk on a rookie. Malik Neighbors went in the right spot in round 4. I'm not sure, but we'll take our chances. In round 1 and 2, you will lose your league. You don't lose your league. Basically, your goal in the first 2 rounds is don't make a mistake. Don't take chances. Keep it safe. And take your shots later on, like your Xavier Worthy shot that looks really good.
I told you.
Really good. And
that was coming. My man was like, I got me a toy.
I got another youngster, Lad McConkey, that's looking really, really like he's going to take the role of the Keenan Allen guy on that team.
Without a doubt. And listen, you watch. Harbaugh will get Herbert to be great again. You watch. He'll get that talent. All right, let's go through the rankings.
I got 2 more.
I
got 2 more. Devin Singletary or Austin Eckler as an RB2?
Devin Singletary this week. Devin got all the work that you wanted to see last week. Obviously, the Giants were terrible. You guys in Philly laughing, loving it. But, loving it, right? Who doesn't enjoy the misery of looking at Daniel Jones as he paid $150 million? He's terrible. Now, I think the Giants will have a better result this week. Washington defense is epically horrific. And even the Giants and their terrible offense can produce points against a team like that. They made Baker Mayfield look like the next coming of Joe Montana last week. That's not going to keep happening.
All right, we got a guy in a very deep individual defensive player league, keeper dynasty. Do you have any sleepers that he could stash?
I don't have any knowledge of IDP defensive player leagues. Unfortunately, I've never played in one. I don't have room in my brain to add a whole defense position and learn all those names. So, no, I don't have any advice for that at all.
All right, and then one more. Jameson Williams or Olave?
Wow. The fact that that's even a question is wild, right?
I love Jameson Williams, man.
He was so good. Grown man did last week and just stepped up.
Listen, they roll their coverage towards St. Brown, and they got a legit tight end, right? So, and you got Gibbs and Montgomery. Like, my God, they have all kinds of weapons. He's going to be open. He's going to have matchup because he's fast.
The weapons are everywhere. The expectations. Jameson Williams, people forgot. He was taken as a first-round pick, wide receiver. This is not a guy who's just sitting there.
Alabama.
Yeah, he was great, and he had some issues, some bets. What are you going to do? But we're back with Jameson. He looks good. No Josh Reynolds on the team. He's taking that role. But I would still play Olave. I think. I don't like the matchup for the Saints at all on the road, but I would probably still play Olave. But I like the game and the game environment for Detroit much better than what the Saints are going to be doing this week. So you want to take a shot? Yeah, I could see it, but it's crazy that that's even a question because Jameson Williams is an afterthought 8th, 9th round pick, and Olave was being taken in round 2.
All right, who the Geek loves this week, we go position by position, and the Geek gives you the best matchups. Quarterback.
I think at quarterback this week, my top guy from a salary and everything perspective, I love the game environment, is Kyler Murray. I feel like it's been years since we've seen Kyler Murray score more than 20 fantasy points in a game. This might be the spot. The Rams, coming in to Arizona. Arizona at home as a favorite, right? If Kyler's ever going to get it done, this is the spot. They're favored. I just think this is Murray time. A couple other names too, but Kyler Murray is the guy that stands out the most to me.
All right, who else you got?
I mean, the other names, I could mess with Jaden Daniels a little bit. If he's going to keep running around and he's against the Jets, I'm good with that.
Running quarterbacks.
I do. I like the legs. Dak Prescott at home, not a competitive game against New Orleans, I don't expect. But I think the Dak to Lamb connection is going to be rekindled. He got paid. Dak's not the kind of player. He's not no Sean Watson, get paid and not worry about it anymore. Dak is a chip on his shoulders kind of player. He's going to get better as he gets paid. And my sneaky play of the week, and you're going to hate this one. You might not have me back on the show, cuz this is it. I'm worried about even saying this, but Daniel Jones.
Oh my God.
The terrible. You know what? He's had only one team that he's been successful against in his entire career, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The Commanders. I'm counting on it. Taking a shot to win the Millie this week. Just for the Millie, cuz. For my lotto ticket.
Daniel Jones. That's hard.
Running for 50 yards. He's still running 40, 50 yards a game. He just needs to be less than horrible. Can he do it? Probably not. But that's why we take lotto ticket shots on crazy spots like Daniel
How would
Jones.
you if I hear you, like I would vomit, but I feel you. There was a game I like. Oh, Anthony Richardson is who you would go with, right?
Richardson, I mean, the only thing I have against Richardson this week in general is just they're going to dominate. Like, first, just go bet the Colts. Let's run down to Parks and bet the Colts right now. I'm telling you, Green Bay with Malik Willis is going to be horrific. So I don't want,
Yeah, right now they're a 3-point favorite. I agree with you. Load up on the Colts.
It's not enough. Take it -7.
Yeah, no, he stinks. No, Malik Willis stinks. Yeah.
He's absolutely terrible. So,
how about wide receiver?
All right, so looking at the wide receiver spot, the top play from a sort of overall fantasy and all this stuff, Cooper Kupp is the guy this week. He's going in with no Puka, 21 targets. 21 targets last week. Are you kidding? I don't need 21. I'm good with 15. As a matter, I'll take 13 and I'll be pretty happy. So Cooper Kupp is your guy this week. And the second guy, if you have it, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, we're paying up in daily fantasy, especially. We got to make choices. Can't play everybody. Kupp is the top choice. Lamb would be number 2 for me in that group. And then the aforementioned Jameson Williams, who want to pay down. Still a 5K player on DraftKings, still very cheap on FanDuel. So that's the guy that you want to fill in your lineups to allow some affordability. But yeah, Cooper Kupp, everybody's going to be on it. It's no secret. That's the best spot. And shifting over to running back, if we're talking DFS, but just in general, Jordan Mason, go right back to it from set. As a matter of fact, if you have Jordan Mason on your bench, right, you didn't get to play him last week, didn't know he was starting, the whole week went by. If he starts again this week, you're starting him ahead of almost every running back on your team.
Wow.
There's very few, the Jonathan Taylors and Bijan Robinsons and aside, you're starting Jordan Mason almost over almost everybody. And I have one more thing to talk about. I forgot to mention Saquon Barkley. It's real. Like, he was amazing last week. He was spectacular. I mean, he's not on the main slate, but wow. What an eye-opening performance in week 1. The tush push is gone. It's now the Saquon shuffle.
I don't want to hear RPRs. I just want Barkley.
Yeah. Exciting for the Eagles. Finally, I mean, I feel like we've been waiting for a version of Barkley on a real team for his whole career. Now, he deserves it. He deserves it.
Hello.
There he is. They're calling for the Geek. The Sharp app. They're all there. Geek has his own app. Quickly tell us about it.
I'm going to just give you a play from the Sharp app Proptimizer tool, which is the tool that you could bet props on. It is the best in the business. You just load it up. It shows you all the edges. So,
because he's a DFS guy, right? So, of course, he developed an app to beat the props. This is what he does.
I spent 10 years in a basement working on a computer, creating models and math for this stuff. We might as well.
Baldy goes to Brazil for models. He goes to his basement.
I gotta go on a cuz trip for models. Wait, what's this trip to Brazil? And when are we going? But head over So head over to Parks to the sports book. You ready for this? Just for Thursday Night Football. Josh Allen under 246 passing yards. He hasn't crossed 246 passing yards in 4 of the last 5 outings. Unfortunately, the one time he did it was against Miami. We're throwing that out, though, because these wide receivers, he's not necessarily comfortable with them just yet. He's doing a lot more with the legs, a lot more handing it to Cook. So let's ride the under train on Josh Allen for one more week, as he still needs to get used to this group of wide receivers. Plus, the Miami cornerbacks are spectacular. That really is the strength of their defense. So I think the Bills will come in with a run-heavy game plan, and we're just going to hit the under on Josh Allen. The Sharp app Proptimizer loves this pick, and it is showing a 3.5 star rating. So it's about as good as we have. And yeah, I got to get a little bet it. And of course, we got the Colts bet as well. How do you not take the Colts -3 in this situation against a no quarterback?
Run the Ben Salem. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Parks Casino. I like it. Geekus, we love you, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, cuz every time. Awesome. So much
You're
fun.
the man. Best of the girls.
Absolutely. Same to the boys.
There he is. Geekus has 2 girls.
Geek.
Love it.
Right?
Geek,
He's a
geek.
girl dad. All right, let's try to sneak in some nugs.
Oh, snap.
Nugs.
By the
Do it
way, do we have a Rite Aid back in the moment nug?
We do.
Let's
I think
start
so.
with the Rite Aid back in the moment, brought to you by Rite Aid, of course.
Got a little
Back in
local
the day.
connection.
All right.
Little fighting baseball connection.
Oh, nice. I love a fight in baseball.
Yeah. Was your boy, your friend, dear Johnny Marzano?
Ooh.
The video doesn't have sound, so just so you know.
Look at John. Look at John.
Dude,
Go, John.
through the mask, dropped the glove, and laid a hand through a
right
haymaker.
South Philly. Right South Philly. He was hooking right off the bat.
Listen here, you J.O.
That was awesome. Johnny
that was
throwing
cool.
hooks.
Oh, man.
By the way, Uncle Frank is a jarred sauce guy.
Yeah, he looks like it.
No, he don't. I'm shocked.
What's he go with?
I don't know. Who cares? It's whatever it is, slop.
What gives the look of a jarred sauce guy? What's like the key factors?
I think
Why
he's
do you
like
think a jar sauce?
I thought it was like
you
Babe
see it.
Ruth.
No, you don't. He's got
Using a
jar sauce look.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Irish. Of course I'm going to do jarred sauce.
Not cuz bro's got a jarred sauce look to him.
Jamie?
Yeah.
I don't know what a
can't see
tomato
him now.
Yeah,
is.
he's a jarred sauce
No,
guy.
he's not. No, he's not. Okay.
You think he's
a
making
foodie.
fresh?
Yes, he's a
Okay.
foodie. There's no way. He's a foodsman.
We got to ask him.
Hey, Hubie Brown.
Love Hubie Brown.
Who doesn't love Hubie
He's
Brown?
90 years old.
Yeah. I was blown away when I saw this pop up on my timeline. He's just got named to the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Like, he's like 25 years too late.
And by the way,
what?
seriously, he's what, 91 years old?
90. 50
90.
seasons in the NBA. 18 finals called. And they
And by
just
the
put him in
way,
this
he's
broadcasting.
unbelievable. He is as lucid
Yes.
and quick. Oh, he's amazing.
Yes.
I love him.
I mean, yes.
I love you.
I was like, what? And before we get out of here, some Flyers love. There's a picture. The ice is getting ready. The boys, the Wells Fargo
we got a
Center.
big one.
Yeah,
It's coming
they're
up.
getting the ice
Look
ready
at that.
for it.
Dude, I'm so excited. I just saw a play of Mitch Kopp to Travis Konechny.
No,
little practice.
when's the game?
It's
Saturday?
like it's a Friday's like a showcase for the Rooks. But yeah, I mean the Mitch Kopp craze is starting to heat up, cuz.
Yeah, and one more hockey quick one. Robert Luongo
Oh yeah.
saw an ad on Facebook for a beer league goal. A beer team needed a goalie. He shows up and he helps these guys beat a 5-time defending champ. Ready, boys? In their
boys?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine Berto Luongo just shows up ready to play?
We need some defense, okay?
Play some defense, okay? They won 4-2. They beat their 5-time bar league champs. How do you give up 2 goals,
Well,
right?
that's my question.
Yes.
Because if you give up 2 goals, you go, if I scored on Robert Luongo, I go, I scored on Luongo.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, Friday, it's the rookie series. It's Rangers, Flyers at the PPL Center at Lehigh Valley.
Can't wait. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. We love you guys, man. Have a great day. Wow, it's a lot of fun. Go Fightins, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.